Thank you so much for joining me today on Joe Today and in our magazine, Joe Magazine. My name is Jolene. So I'm just going to jump right in. I got a few questions for you. And I started listening, just going down and listening to some of the music that I can find on YouTube. And I know some of that music I heard was from a long, long time ago that I'm sure you guys weren't a part of that. Maybe,
Sure we
but
were.
yeah. So my first question is, those soul stirrers are preparing for the unbelievable legacy. They've been preparing for legacy for since in the 1920s, the kind that most people would dream about. Can you tell our viewers and readers how you became a part of Soul
My name is
Stirrers?
Jackie Lee Hurd.
Jackie Lee Hurd. Okay.
And Leroy gave me a phone call. I sent him a tape, and he said, "Hey, let's come down and rehearsal." And that's how I got there.
Okay.
I was contacted by the same individual, Leroy Kroon,
Hmm.
and Leroy and we spoke back and forth for about a year. He had heard about me. I'm from Richmond, Virginia,
Okay.
and
Okay.
he had heard some of my music. So we collaborated back and forth. And one day he told me, he said, well, Justin, I know you can't make up your mind right now whether you want to join the group, but let's come down to my house, and we're going to ride over to Shreveport, Louisiana, and just do a whole weekend thing, and just see how you like it. And I said, okay, let's just have some fun. And he said, yeah, that's it. So I drove all the way down to Ocala where he was living,
Mm.
and 12 o'clock that morning, we drove across the Florida Panhandle
Uh-huh.
into Shreveport, and then we rehearsed, and that's how it all started.
Okay.
I think it was 1990,
I'm
1998.
Jeffrey Moore, the visionary of the Soul Stirrers.
Okay.
I joined the Soul Stirrers in 2003, well, under Arthur Kuhn, who's the manager of the Soul Stirrers, 40 years. And we met in Atlanta, and it was doing a quartet convention.
Hmm.
And we, we find out that we was living close to each other, and he asked to come to my studio after he got back from Atlanta, and I started recording the Soul Stars album, and he liked the way I recorded and everything. And he said, "Would you like to be a part of the Soul Stars?" I said, "Sure, I would. It'd be an honor."
Hmm.
And so I got with him in 2003 up till 2018 till they retired. And we was inducted into the Doo-Wop Hall of Fame in honor of Sam Cooke in
Okay.
2011. And that's how it came about.
That is fantastic. So do you all sing, play instruments as well?
Well, I'm the producer
Okay.
of the Soul Stars. I produce all the music, and I sing background and songwriter as well.
Okay. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but I can't wait to listen to this new album release that you have out. So I got to get me a copy. So you guys got to let me know
Yes,
before we end how I can get my copy. Okay.
Uh,
yes, ma'am.
Going on to the next question. How does it feel to be a part of such a long, rich history of soulful gospel music? Have you learned any new life lessons while being a part of the Soul Stirrers?
Being a part of the posters, I learned that being with the guys like these legends like Leroy, Arthur, you learn that I learned that I didn't know how to sing the Soul Stars background. There I thought, but
Uh,
when I got there, and these guys are so crafted, they know vocals, they know rises and falls. And so I just had to stop everything that I thought I knew and start all over again and learn from these guys. They were like my father, my uncle, and my brothers and best friend. I tell you, the best time I've ever had in quartet, I can say this with a proud face, was with the Soul Stirrers.
That
okay.
because Jack and we came at the same time,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and we joined, and I've always been the lead singer for all of my life.
Mhm.
I had to do much background because I was always out front.
Okay.
But just like Jackie, when I got with the Soul Stirrers, and we had our first rehearsal in Shreveport, Louisiana, in a motel,
Uh-huh.
and I felt so humble because I was doing nearer to thee, near my God to thee, and I could hear this harmony coming behind me, these vocals, and I said, "Oh my God!" I said, I said, y'all sound like the Soul Stirrers. And and Dillard Kroom at that time, he turned to me and said, we are the Soul Stirrers, Ricky.
For myself, Brother Arthur Kroom, he was a mentor, protege. He taught me the background. That's my specialty for Soul Stirrers in the background in the music.
Okay.
And he taught me from scratch. And he just a remarkable. He was like a father to me. We rehearsed every day if we wasn't traveling. Brother Leroy and Brother Leroy and myself and Brother Justin and Brother Arthur, and when we traveled. But I tell you, Brother Arthur, he was like a master at that background in the music for the Soul Stirrers.
This is just a question I'm just thought about to ask. How did the name Soul Stirrers come about?
Hey, when you say soul stirrers, the people just say, you know what? They really do stir the soul. R.H. Harris, Sam Cooke, Paul Foster, Chief Jimmy, all those guys, and tell me, the soul stirrers really do stir the soul. So whoever come up with that, I give them
Yes,
thumbs up.
That's it.
Yeah,
1926.
Jolene, if I may say this, we were traveling, the Soul Stirrers and I, we were traveling, we went to Italy. And it was this Italian woman, she was a teacher, and she taught English. So backstage, she came up to me and said, she asked me this question. She said, what is this thing called? Would you define soul? And I went like, ooh, that was a good question. She said, because I want to relay this to my students. So she put me on a recorder, she taped me, and I said, nobody ever asked me that. I said, well, the soul it's when you sing, it's what comes out of you, it's what's inside of you. So you're singing with all of your being and your fervence.
Yeah.
And she said, that's good. I will tell my students this.
The royalty reunion brings the same spirit back to the forefront. What is that like? That spirit. And can you tell us about the reunion album?
Yes, well, when Jackie and I first was talking, I was singing with my wife and I sang with the New Consolers, another group, a famous group. And we was putting our music on Facebook and online and our albums. And Jackie heard a lot of music. Me and Jackie was together at Leroy Kroom funeral in Chicago, and also Justin. And Jackie gave me a phone call, and we was reminiscing about the Soul Stirrers. So once you're a Soul Stirrers, a saying is you're always a Soul Stirrers. And so we was talking about the old days, about the Soul Stirrers and how we come up. And then Jackie said, I said, Jackie, why don't you sing a song for me? And Jackie started singing on the phone. And I said, wow, man, your voice is amazing. And I said, we got to do something with the Soul Stirrers. And I said, well, let me call Justin. I called Justin up and I told him that what me and Jackie was saying. And he said, yeah, I think I want to be a part of that. And so I said, I tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in the studio. I'm going to do all the music and the vocals and everything. And I'll call y'all, keep y'all posted on how things go. And then they said, okay. And so I had Jackie to come down, and Justin flew down to the studio. And here we go with the reunion. And it was beautiful recording, and I couldn't ask for two better guys than Jackie and Justin.
How did the Soul Stirrers shift from traditional gospel to a more modern sound influence that they have on the new generation? Can you elaborate on that?
Well, a lot of that comes from Jeffrey. What we done was we kept the basic traditional sound that we and myself bring to the forefront. And Jeffrey has this, everybody has a flair, a style, and he was able to take all that. And when you hear the background and you hear the way the music is kind of brought to another way, and then we're singing the vocals in there. I believe it's just a combination of those of the style that he brings when he mixes the music and he puts the background. It gives it more of a soul stirring with kind of a quartet, like, you know, just
Okay.
more. I really say that I have to say, Jeff, I have to get credit for really doing a good job right there.
Okay. I love me some quartet music. Always have the female groups and the male. I've always grew up on that, and I really enjoy it. But let me know what is one of your, I know I hate to say favorite. Tell me about the project, like some of the songs, and how they came about. Tell me about, a few of songs. If each of you guys can take a turn and let me know one of your favorites, or what does it mean to you, or something like that.
Well, I love them all, but
Hmm.
Jesus Be Offense, that's very good.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey and Jack and I, we added in on the new album, we're redoing A Change Is Gonna Come
Ooh, okay.
because of all the things that's going on right now.
Yes.
The uncertainty in the world. And Sam, of course, the song was written by him. It was written during the civil rights movement.
Hmm.
And, he was an activist, and he wrote that song based on some of the things that he was experiencing
Okay.
back then. And so we came up with that one, and I think you're going to love it. And Jackie did a fine job. We're sharing the vocals on that one, which haven't been done before because it was only done by a single vocalist. But Jack and we're collaborating, and Jeff did a beautiful job on the music.
Okay. All right.
Jeff brings this, you take a song like Resting Easy. Okay, that's a song that I always liked, but I always watched Dillard and Martin Jacob, Dillard and Luther Gamble when I was with them. I watched them do it, but I never thought of singing the song myself. And
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
this project, and then he said, well, look, he said, Jackie, you're going to do Resting Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's another thing that helps out because he brings some things to the table that we normally probably wouldn't have done ourselves.
Okay.
And then when you do it, you say, hey, this is, it's really okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I like I'm a Pilgrim.
Yes,
Jackie is singing I'm a Pilgrim. That's a beautiful song. Take you back to the 20s with the 30s and the 40s with the Soul Stirrers.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that sound like Paul Foster and Sam Cooke. They had a beautiful team. They had different textures and vocals, but they blended well together as well as Jackie and Justin, and that's what we wanted to bring back to the gospel music.
Mm-hmm.
Show them that the Soul Stars are very flexible. They have so many people have come as lead singers through the Soul Stars. That was great, such as Johnny Taylor, Sam Cooke,
Mm-hmm.
Paul Forster, and so many others. And so Jackie and Justin bring that flavor back, and they work beautiful together.
Mm-hmm. You kind of almost answered my last question, and that was, what do you want people, like your fans, what do you want them to walk away with after listening to it, your music, or attending a concert from you all? And I know you still are going out there doing concerts. So what would you want them to walk away? What message do you want them to leave with after hearing the Soul Stirrers?
well, I want them to walk away hearing that, music has been around way long before we come along.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It was done, they had something to sing about and they had something to write about. And
yes.
if we can deliver this through the Spirit, and they can feel that, that, hey, quartet music and gospel is still there. And the souls of we're all songwriters. I write my own, I play guitar, Justin songwriter, so we have a lot of new songs that we can write and come up with. But with this project, what we're doing, what Jeff has put together, this makes it great for us I want the fans to say, listen, will y'all please sing another song for us? When they ask to do that one song,
Mm-hmm.
that means that, you know, they really enjoyed themselves and to feel the purity of what we're doing, because what we're doing is for a great power. There's no greater power than God.